So here's an update to a video I covered about a week ago, which is titled, After Getting Caught Doing Inappropriate Things on FaceTime, Girlfriend Insisted Nothing Happened, Then I Took Her Phone. And then guys, as a recap, that's about the guy who's been with his girlfriend for like 3 years. They're in their mid-20s. He thought he has a promising future with her. And then one day when she came home from a concert with her sister and her mom, she went off to the library in their apartment building to do some reading or whatever. Something didn't seem right to him. He went over and he could hear through the door. She was having a conversation, did some listening, and she was FaceTiming with some dude saying a whole lot of inappropriate things to him that no girlfriend should be saying. And after an hour of listening to this whole thing and logging it, he then, confronted her. And of course, she acted like nothing happened. What are you talking about? And he got her to admit some things, and it ain't pretty. And at one point, he even took her phone, made her freak the heck out. And that's that. And so this guy's done with her. But of course, she was denying everything and then trickle-truthing everything. And so it ended with him obviously asking, was he the a-hole? What do I do? And well, you're going to see, guys, how this guy handles it. And he handles it just right. So he continues saying, new update 18 hours later. I still have not slept. Not for the lack of trying, though. I want to type this while it's still fresh in my head. I left early in the morning after she went to sleep to walk and get a coffee. I hung out at the cafe while I updated those close to me about what is going on and replied to Reddit. Notice he said I updated those close to me. Translation, he's controlling the narrative before she spins this thing out of control. Well, I waited in the cafe until I knew she left for work to go back home, shower, and try to get some rest. I spent most of the day making an exit plan and taking all the advice about how to approach the living situation. Remember, it ended, guys, where he's basically like either, he has like 4 months left in the lease, and he knows he doesn't want to live with her anymore. And basically, either she gets out or he gets out, that type of thing. He's been trying to save money and all that, and he ain't gonna be able to save money with her being there. But I said, hey, you need to get out of there, man. You can't live together. I've already said that we were over before she went to bed, but I don't think she believed me. No, she didn't believe you. She thought eventually you would cave. When she finally got home from work, she sat down on the couch across from me and said, hi. That's it. After all that, hi. She then proceeded to mope on the couch until I walked away, as I was waiting for her to say something first. I ran out of time as I needed to leave for volleyball practice, so I just dropped the ultimatum. I said to her, either you move out or I will move out, and I don't think you can afford this place on your own. Nice, dude. That doesn't sound like an ultimatum. It's more like just a declaration of reality. Either it's you or me, and you ain't going to be able to afford this place on your own because this guy makes more money. I think the reality of the situation finally hit her. She immediately broke down, crying, and started begging to try and work this out. Now she knows he means business. Before she thought he was bluffing. That's probably the reason she was cheating on him, is her perception of him that he was weak, a pushover, and all that. No, not at all. I was emotionless and said that this is the consequences of her choices. I left for my volleyball practice as she followed me to the door, crying and begging. I picture her like literally holding onto his leg, and he's trying to walk across the kitchen to the front door, dragging her ass on the ground. She tried to ask where I was going, and I told her it's none of her business. You lost the right to know what I'm doing in my free time. We're done. I also told her on the way out that I expect her to have a plan and start owning up to the consequences of her choices. Good luck with that, amigo. What? Women and accountability? No. When I returned back home, she tried again to beg to work this out. I reminded her that any ounce of compassion is thrown out when I remember the sickening shit that she was saying to this dude on the other side of the door, and at the thought of whatever else she is still hiding. Yeah, number one, he didn't really elaborate the things she was saying. We all want to know. And of course she's hiding more. And I'm sure she slept with this guy. In fact, I recall that they were actually getting touchy-feely because this dude's a coworker. So let's just say that she obviously hooked up with him. I told her that, as many of you wisely advised, that I don't even want to know what she's hiding anymore, because the fact that you're still hiding stuff from me is in all the answers that I need to know about what you did. With that, I repeated that she needed to move out as soon as possible, as I cannot stand to live with her anymore. I set up my air mattress in my office, and went to bed. Why don't you have her sleep on the freaking air mattress and you be in your bed? Why should you have a shitty night's sleep? Because air mattresses, I've done air mattresses and I wake up 65 times in a night. Air mattresses. Well, today I work from home as usual, went to the gym, and will be spending the evening with one of my good friends. I also called, left message from my building manager that I'd like to discuss my lease and its renewal. I was vague on purpose till I can explain the situation, so they don't think I'm trying to break the lease. I also texted my ex-girlfriend this. I said to her, you need to pack your shit and figure out where you're going. As soon as you leave, I will return your $2,000 plus however many days left in the month for what you paid in rent. She said that she's looking for places, and I asked about if she could stay with her mom, but she said she couldn't. I think she still hasn't talked to them because her sister texted me yesterday saying that she's also very upset with her. Because she noticed while they were at the concert that night that the ex was on her phone the whole time and even had a phone call in front of her sister. Well, that's nice to hear that her sister's on this dude's side. That's rare. She confronted the ex about it and blew up at her and threatened her if she told me. She relayed to me about the similar experiences. She said she is here for me. I thanked her and told her since she is so close to the ex, it's probably best we don't talk much. She agreed and wished me the best. Good, and I agree. Flip a coin. She's either on this guy's side and is pissed off at her sister for cheating and all that, or she's on the sister's side and putting up a big front trying to be his buddy here, but is giving information to the girlfriend. At any rate, I wouldn't be trusting her and talking to her right now either. But if she's on his side, great. So now basically all her close family isn't talking to her or supporting her. It doesn't make me happy that she is suffering so badly now because of her own actions, but I also don't care because those are her problems now. Well, I'm a little more vindictive. I would enjoy her suffering a little bit, given if I was cheated on by her. There are many reasons and ways I could choose to be petty and absolutely screw her even worse. But I think the direct consequences are enough. One example is in January, I took her on a 3-week-long vacation, which I paid for almost everything except for her flight and some of the accommodations that she split with me. 3 weeks! Holy crap, man, that's extremely generous. But in his mind, we've been together 3 years, he's probably going to marry her one day, so he's thinking, hey, I'm treating my girl. Well, look how she treated him. This was in January, so this is only a few months later. Probably him doing that communicated to her weakness, even though that's not weak, he was being generous with his girl. But look how she took it. I told her that at the time she didn't need to worry about paying me back, so I will at least keep my word because she definitely doesn't have the money to pay me back. Even if I kept her $2,000, I was investing for her. So what will ideally happen is she is out by this weekend. But I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet. I will have to supervise the move to make sure none of my stuff is taken. Good. Be there. Don't buy this crap like, hey, Bill, could you be away while my sister and my friends and I go through everything and move out? No, you stay there. Otherwise, all these things that are yours that she claims are hers are going to disappear. I have a pretty good memory of the stuff that she bought versus what I bought. The stuff we purchased for this place will have to be negotiated. Basically, the only thing I will need to buy is a new bed. We were using hers. Thank you to everyone for your comments, DMs, and concern. It made it a lot easier to keep my mind clear during all this. So this is an example of how writing it out and going on Reddit does help a lot of people getting off their chest, hearing some things, because sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers or get advice from strangers than people in your life because they're biased, The problem is on Reddit, a lot of times there are a lot of wackos out there, so you got to be careful. Now, he responded to a bunch of comments from people, but he had one final comment giving a little more detail of what's going on real quick. It says, good advice, but she would have to also go up against her own family standing up for me. So far, it seems to be going as smooth as it can. She found a potential roommate and booked apartment viewings. We discussed how we will divide the stuff that we bought together, and there wasn't any disagreement there, thankfully. That being said, if any conversation we have going forward starts remotely going downhill, I'll definitely be recording. In other words, yeah, he was talking about with that guy how to handle the moving out thing. I would definitely record any conversation with her going forward. Any interaction, I'd record it just in case. Because you have no idea what she's going to do on the way out. But anyhow, potential roommate, looking at listings, good sign. Hopefully he can move out soon and he can move on with his life. So anyhow, guys, he handled it right. It's unfortunate it happened to him, but nevertheless, the old FaceTime thing. And it's amazing what you get by getting the phone. Because you recall in the first video how crazy she was the second he got that phone. I mean, the phone it opens up Pandora's box of secrets. Never fails.